Good afternoon. I'm Jason Medlock. I'm the host of I'm Woke, and we thought we would come in this afternoon and give you a little bit of something new. We have a specially put together intro, and I wanted to play it after we did the walkthrough. But here we go, and we're gonna play it right now. All right, let's go. All right, that was our intro, and we're going to get this thing rolling really nicely. But I'm Jason Medlock, and I am the host of I'm Woke. Our show is basically based on a casual conversation about spiritual tools, things that we take for granted, dreaming, channeling, manifesting, and a variety of things. But I have my contributor here tonight, Tereska Hairston, and I'm going to go ahead and add Tereska in right now. Hey there, how you doing, Tereska?
Hello, everybody. How you doing, brother?
Good. And I was just briefly talking about, this show and, kind of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to have a casual conversation. We want to make it as easy as possible to talk about things that sometimes may be difficult to talk about in regards to your spirituality, to dreams you may be having, to meeting someone who can communicate with the spirit world, meditation, manifesting your destiny. Those are all the keys to experiencing an awakening. And Tereska, I know you want to add to putting some more meat around our conversation last week. Talk to me a little bit.
Yes. I wanted to just kind of reiterate and go back over some things we discussed last week. We talked about a little bit about prayer. And so for some people may not know, what prayer is. And prayer is simply having a conversation with God, whatever your thoughts are, whatever your desires are, whatever you're going through, is talking to your God, or some call universe, or some say source, or whatever you call it. It's just having that conversation. And then the other thing we talked about, we went over, was meditation, correct?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, and I kind of pulled out my own little meaning for me of what meditation is. And it's basically allowing yourself to create a space for your physical man and your spirit man to meet and, center in and become, allow your opportunity to raise those vibrations when you do that. And it takes you to another place. And that's what meditation is. It's just combining your physical man, your spirit man, and centering in on that, and allowing that space and allowing yourself to get to that level of where it is. So,
yeah, I know that, our guest tonight is going to be Chloe Mowers, but we're talking about meditation right now. And, that really, really plays a big part in trying to channel spirits, energy, deities, gods, whatever you're trying to, or who you're trying to have a conversation with. But it all starts with being centered and being able to use meditation to, as a basis
yes,
for this to occur.
That's right.
And, basically you have to practice anything that you're trying to do that is regarding your spirituality, whether it be manifesting, whether it be remote viewing. You want to base it around meditation, how
Yes.
to calm yourself and how to reach that level where you can sort of be asleep, but in the same breath, be awake. And the more you practice it, the more you're able to achieve that. And once you're able to be in that state, that brainwave state, at that point, talk to them about having a clear vessel, Tereska, and what that means with food and with your spirituality is as far as how you relate to other people.
Well, yeah, it's definitely about having a clear vessel and a sound and strong body to operate off of. God wants us to learn the foods that we're supposed to eat. You know, God created food for not just for our life, for our lifespan, but it's more so also to build our physical man as well. Because God created food is a living thing. If He wants us to eat living things, vegetables and all those things are living things. So it is. That's why it's always best for us to consume those things. They have all the nutrients in it, antibiotics, and everything that we need in vegetables that can take care of our body. And I also heightens our energy and our level of vibration. So having food is very important.
Very important, and there are low vibrating foods. There are high vibrating foods. There are a number of ways to know that when you're not cleansing your energy or cleansing your body or your vessel, getting it ready for meditation. And low vibrating foods are, beef, anything that's not natural, that's artificial. High vibrating foods are foods that are raw and grown from the earth. So know that when you are attempting to pray and manifest and channel and, remote view and whatever you're attempting to do, it really starts with meditation, but more so getting your vessel prepared to withstand this journey. And it needs to be a clear vessel. But, our guest, Chloe Mowers, I just want to get into that a little bit, Trust, because she's amazing. Not hopefully, but I know that I'm speaking of my future teacher. I am so excited to learn from her. We were going to do a channeling session today, not a session, but a teaching. It was a 6-hour course, and Chloe lives in Mexico, and she was having problems with her electricity. But she's going to be on with us tonight. So we couldn't do the session, but she shocked me and said, "Yes, I'll come on your show." So I am looking forward to a long relationship with Chloe, and I'm going to bring her on for a second, but I want to introduce her first. Chloe Mowers is the founder of Unconditional Love. She's a Unconditional Love Reiki, and she's a channeler, animal communicator, galactic energy healer, quantum Reiki teacher, and the founder of the energy healing business of Magenta Sun Healing and the nonprofit Empathy for All Animals. She currently lives in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and spends her free time doing world healing through meditation and writing channel books. Currently, she has 5 books available for purchase, and we'll get out there pretty soon and put them out. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in Chloe with us, Tereska, and this is a fantastic. We're excited. We're very excited. Hello, Chloe. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We are so excited that you're here. We are so excited.
Thank you so much. I apologize for the delays and everything. Unfortunately, there was a hurricane here, and so a lot of the towns and villages do not have electricity, and so I did not know this evening. But I'm very happy to be here.
Super. And, we wanted to give you the floor because I know that, Chloe was gracious. She's on the show, but she's using her data on her phone and she's having problems with her Wi-Fi. So, Chloe, I wanted to have you on. Our show is about channeling, and it's so strange how this worked out. But can you tell us a little bit of how it all started for you? Give the audience an understanding of, well, when did you know that you could receive communication?
And so there's actually many different forms of channeling and communication, and most people will actually do it on a day-to-day basis without even knowing it. So, for instance, a lot of songs have been channeled, a lot of books, a lot of teachings, a lot of different ideas that come in are just naturally channeled through an individual. And so it's just if you're consciously channeling or subconscious, that's the main focus. And so everyone has the ability to channel, and most people do it just daily with their intuition and with the ideas that ended up coming to them. But you can also consciously do so. And so there's different ways of doing it. Some people verbally channel. For instance, I primarily do verbal channeling as well as writing. You can write, you can paint, you can also channel feels. So for instance, a being or an individual can come through your chakras and through your physical form and give you different feelings and different sensations. For instance, I can connect to a hawk. and feel what it's like to be that hawk. And so that's channel feeling using clairsentience. And so there's a lot of different ways to channel. I'd say I really figured it out at about 14 and 15, but years of age. But before then, I was channeling in different ways, like most individuals.
Wow. I know Tereska, we're going to try to hold our questions so you can talk as much as you can, but growing up with that type of ability, can you share with our audience? Because I think that most people think that, well, man, she may be just special. I mean, she has superpowers when really anybody can do it if you condition, if you practice, if you prepare. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. So a lot of my clients and people that come to me have never channeled consciously themselves and maybe a little confused at first. And this is a common question where people will say, can I really do this? Or is this something that just you do or selected individuals do? So this is a very common question, actually. Everyone has the ability. It's just the amount that they're willing to tap into it. So for instance, everyone has their own unique abilities, and then we also have shared abilities. So for instance, telepathy, which is using the third eye chakra, the heart chakra, as well as the heart space located in the heart chakra. That's something that's universal. With channeling, specific forms of channeling are typically more universal, like using your clairsentience ability, which is the feeling channeling wise. Others can be more selected to the individual. And so, for instance, I've had clients who come to me and they're in their 80s and they say, I've never really had too many spiritual experiences. I've never connected in this way, but I feel like it's my time to, and then they'll be incredible channelers. I've taught people all from ages 4 to 85, and everyone's able to do it in their own way. It's just different. Some people prefer writing, some people speaking, painting. It's really different. So it's finding the way that resonates with you is the most important, and to trust yourself, to be open-minded.
Well, I want Tereska to say a few words because, in prayer, Chloe, when we were growing up in church, people would pray. And I was young, I was little, and I would hear people shouting and screaming and speaking in tongues. And I did not know what they were doing. And my mom would say, oh, she just got happy. Oh, the Lord just went through her and touched her. That's why she was talking like that. But as we get older and we understand our spirituality much, much better. And I was talking with Tereska, were they being used as mediums at that moment when they had reached that pinnacle or that moment when God spoke to them? And Tereska, I want you to pick up on that one.
Well, I basically want to start it off with actually asking a question. Asking if this is correct. Vibration. Trying to understand what channeling really and truly is like it's vibration, a state of being where you tend to the vibration at level that you want to enter. Attend to that level of vibration to enter in a place where all the entities are. Is that a level of a vibration that you reach? That is the task, to get to a level of vibration that you reach so that you might connect to the level of where the entities are, whatever place that holds them or whatever.
Yes. So I understand the question. When it comes to vibration, it definitely makes a huge difference. And so I've met channelers who honestly do not have very good lifestyles. Mm-hmm. Some of them, like for instance, eat meat or drink alcohol or do other lower vibrational things. And what ends up happening is that their channeling, it takes a lot longer to get into that space. So for instance, they may have to meditate for an hour, 2 hours before even attempting to channel in order to be able to receive that same amount of information and connection, whereas someone who is eating raw food or fruitarian or eating very light, or at least not consuming animal products or too many processed foods, they have a much easier time channeling. They can reach that vibration in a minute or 2 minutes. Okay. People actually come to me very, very frequently just for the fact that I'm able to channel considerably quicker than a lot of other individuals, and so that's something that people like, and that's honestly not something that just happened with time, although of course time builds any skill, but it really came from vibration more than anything, as well as trusting oneself. But in general, it's really important what you put in your body and what you do. And fruit is the highest vibrational food that one can put in their body.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool. That's one thing I really want to know. And when you talking about food,
Yes,
what the high vibrational foods are. I know that vegetables are, living food. I was always told that the living foods are the foods that we're supposed to consume, opposed to dead food. And that's foods that we have to that are dead, cooked, and all that kind of. So can you give me some examples of other high vibration foods, as well as low vibration foods?
Yes.
Yes. So in general, the highest vibrational foods are the ones that are given from the earth. So really, the only foods that are fully given from the earth that you don't have to kill any sort of plant or animal or being is fruit and many nuts as well. For instance, cashews are, in fact, coming from a fruit. So anything that's really coming from a fruit, that does not hurt or kill anything in order to receive that. And so that is really the best food that we can eat. Besides that, the lowest vibrational foods, really, it's anything that anyone who has to be murdered, honestly, just killed for that food. It's secondhand nutrients, and it has a lot of suffering and death and anxiety and depression within it, as typically there's a lot of fear at the end of life and during the life itself. And then a lot of also, if food is not properly grown, then that can get a lower vibration attached to it. Like, for instance, if the people that are growing that food, even if it is a fruit, if they are miserable doing their job or putting a lot of hatred into that food, then that can also change the vibration. And so, for instance, sending it Reiki energy unconditional love, clearing, cleansing your food beforehand is great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could that also happen with raising children and raising kids and raising, that whole thing? Oh my gosh. I never thought about it like that.
Well, Chloe is also an accomplished author, and we're going to show some of her books so that you guys can always find her material, and we'll let Chloe speak to a few of these books and kind of let us know what exactly how each book can help you. So right here we have let me just get this set up right. But 1 second. Yes, we have Diary of a Calf. And, when I first saw it, Chloe, I was like, okay, Diary of a Calf. So I'm like, okay, she's channeling, animals, or she's at least attempting to understand their plight and what's going on with the spirit. So can we talk about that one a little bit?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So when it comes to the books that it's channeled from the perspectives of animals, so I have two that are from individual perspectives. So that's the Diary of a Dairy Calf, as well as a book from the perspective of a turkey called Inside the Mind of the Turkey. Unfortunately, I didn't send that one, but that's another book that I have. And so it's actually connecting to their souls as well as to their subconscious minds as they're alive. And it's going through their first 100 days of life. For a turkey, the first 100 days is actually their entire life before they're killed. They can live many years, but because of the industry, they're quickly fattened up to be killed, unfortunately. And so it's a very hard thing to write about. It's very, very challenging to see from their perspective and to have so much empathy, but at the same time, not to physically help, although I can send energy after it, although I wouldn't want the energy to taint it in any way, which makes it even more challenging. But basically, it's just looking through the dairy calf's life and seeing it from her perspective, seeing her friendship, seeing her pain, seeing her joy, seeing all aspects of it within the dairy industry, which is a very challenging industry for everyone involved.
So, Chloe, when you're channeling the spirits that are in the animals, are these spirits, do they have different type energies than the spirits that are incarnated in humans, or is there somewhat of a difference? And then, secondly, are the spirits that are in the animals that you channel and you help with healing energies, are they speaking back to you?
So interestingly enough, every individual that I've connected to and communicated to is completely different, and that's not regardless of species or that individual. It's really about their life experiences. For instance, for myself, I've had over 500 lifetimes as different animals on Earth, as well as many different people and individuals, and also just consciousnesses, just energy bodies, not even having a physical body. And so because of that, when you connect to the consciousness of an individual, whether that's their soul, their spirit, or their subconscious mind, or even their conscious minds, it's really does not necessarily change regardless of species. It's in regard to that individual themselves and how many lifetimes they've had, what they've been doing. Their most recent lifetime will also usually tell a lot about that individual. For instance, if the most recent lifetime is a human, that will affect it, whatever it is, or how much time they had between lifetimes. So, for instance, I've talked to certain animals, so non-human animals, of course, who have been a lot more intelligent and aware and having wonderful conversations back with me and responding back to me and asking me questions more than like a human spirit. And so, honestly, there's no really human spirits or non-human spirits. It's just spirits, and then we just take it on.
And Chloe, I heard you when you said over 500 lives as an animal, and as far as incarnation. And for our viewers out there, you don't just incarnate as a human. You incarnate as animals, atmosphere, clouds, the rocks, anything that is created by God is energy. And, we have been, meaning humans or spirits, we've incarnated as a lot of different things. And I'm almost afraid to ask, traveling into the past, I'm almost afraid to ask, how many lifetimes were you able to explore in this particular book? And can you tell us about that one?
I've explored, honestly, quite a few. For the book Traveling into the Past, I explored quite a bit of mine, and I actually co-wrote it with a student that I was mentoring. I mentored her for a year in order for her to build her holistic practice. And so she's also learning channeling, but mostly focused on past life regression. I'm a certified past life regression therapist in addition to everything else. And with that, I explore past lives all the time. Maybe every few days I'll look at one whenever I have some free time. It's very interesting. We honestly, as individuals, we have so many. It's really hard to just say, for instance, I've had 500 animal lifetimes here on Earth, but then there's so many different places besides Earth, so many dimensions, so many opportunities, really. And so you can't really say, I have this many lifetimes. Typically, people have almost an infinite amount. Everyone, not just humans.
Wow.
I have a question. I want Chloe. I kind of want to get back just a little bit. Can you just tell us how you knew that you had this type of gift? How old were you when it started, and what set you on this path?
So it was actually quite interesting. So I was in, I think it was 7th or 8th grade. And what ended up happening is I was very atheist, honestly, at the time. I didn't think that there was any opportunity for anything spiritual or outside of the realm of very, very basic science. I didn't even know that, for instance, quantum physics or other things even existed. Or any of what I do now. And basically what ended up happening is that my friend was extremely upset. She was crying. She was heartbroken. And I gave her a hug, and I felt the sensation to pull energy from her and to put it into the earth. And so as soon as I started doing that, she stopped crying. She felt great. And the energy was taken and pulled out, and I felt it through me, and then I put it into the earth. And soon after that, I tried it more and more with different people without really telling them for a bit. And then I started to experience their past memories, and from there I took a channeling class as well as Reiki classes and everything else over time.
Wow, that is interesting. We also have messages from the animals of Costa Rica, and I'm sure that's just, I'll let you talk about it, but you're probably doing some work in Costa Rica and got a chance to maybe heal some animals and get into it over there a little bit?
So that was actually a really incredible trip to Costa Rica. And when I was there, I channeled the consciousness of unconditional love to write basically the curriculum for unconditional love Reiki. But along with that, I wrote this book, and it was really wonderful. Honestly, it's probably the favorite book that I've written, just because it was really uplifting, and it's very inspiring. All of them gave a very different message. Some were more about kind of like physical lives and the relationships we have in day-to-day life. Others were what they want humans to contribute or to do or change. And then others were just like very sweet, very kind, inspiring, and spiritual. Wow. And so I really enjoyed this because every page or two is a different animal and a completely different perspective. So that was a really fun book to read, and I got to see all of the animals in person.
So Tereska, I know this is your time to talk to Chloe. You have a love for nature and animals. You feel like you connect with animals. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, I do. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm just in tune with spirit and I'm just kind of connected to the spirit, knowing that we are all one. I kind of always knew that, and trying to unify myself with earth and all that. I tend to try. I have a tendency to want to talk to animals, speak to the birds, do stuff like that. I mean, I do, but I just feel like I sense their spirits a little. I don't know what that is, but I just feel like that I do. I don't know what that is, but I am drawn to them like that. So
Chloe, this last book, and it's not the last book because I know you have another one in PDF format, and I'll let you talk about that one too. But this book right here seems interesting. I got the links to these books maybe a day ago, and I cannot wait to buy all of them. So I'm gonna encourage you guys to look at the bottom here at www.blurb.com. You can purchase any one of the books, preferably get all of them and start to sort of understand the plight of channeling. And also www.magentasunhealing.com is Chloe's website, and where she offers a number of services and sessions for you if you are if you're interested at that level. But I want to do a quick reset again. You're listening to I'm Woke. I'm Jason Mellock, your host. I have Tereska Harrison here with us today as a spiritual advisor, and also Miss Chloe Mowers. But Chloe, you are infinite. What inspired you to write this book?
Thank you. So You Are Infinite was actually the first book that I've ever written. So I wrote it really young. I wrote it at 16 years old,
Wow.
at 16 years of age. And so it is about, I'd say, 70 or 80% channeled. It was still when I was getting more comfortable publicly channeling. But it's honestly, it's a very interesting book. A lot of people say that they really enjoy it. I have slightly hard time with it because I see how my writing has changed so much. But I think overall it was pretty good job. And it's a lot of poetry, so it's nature insights. It's basically, at that point I was already traveling quite a bit, and it's going to different places. It's every time that I felt infinite and merged with my higher self, basically.
Wow.
And so it's seeing the world from that perspective. It's seeing two trees unite and telling a story about them. It's a lot of seeing connection in different ways around the world, basically. But the whole premise is you are an infinite being, and you.
Okay, we lost Chloe, but she'll come back in. It was getting really interesting. I know she was breaking up, but she's gonna come back. But wow,
I was hoping that we could get people to start asking questions in the chat. That would be so great. But she'll be back pretty soon. That was so interesting. I mean, that's some interesting stuff right there.
There she is. I knew she was. I knew Chloe was coming right back. Chloe, you have a question from one of our.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me as well?
Yeah, we can see you, and we can hear you and see you.
Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not able to see you, but I can hear everything.
Yeah, we can see you. Okay. Chloe, we have a question from someone who is watching online right now, and this young lady's name is Dee. And Dee says, Chloe, is channeling something to do in the state, was channeling something to do in the start of your journey, middle, or end?
So thank you for your question. Honestly, I would say that channeling is just something to do when you feel a call to it. So if you keep on seeing it come through in different ways, if you keep on thinking about it, or maybe seeing different channelers speak, or if it calls to you in some way, then it's ready for you. So for everyone, it's different. I would say it's very common that people will learn Reiki or form of energy healing beforehand, but that's not always the case. I really think it's just whenever it calls to you. And so I think you're ready for it if you're thinking about it too, or at least ready to start to explore.
Well, Chloe, I know we talked about actually channeling tonight, and you may not have long because your phone is kind of, giving you a little problem. So do you want to sort of bring that in now?
Yes, yeah, I would love to. And so I apologize for the phone. Because I'm in Mexico, it gives me a certain amount of data, and then it just goes to really bad data. And so I do apologize for that, but I will begin now. So it'll just take one moment, okay. And I'll see who wants to come through for the greatest and highest good. It's important to know that the love is within you. It's not from without, although, of course, you can always connect to the love that's without, the love that is surrounding everything and everyone in every place. But the love is within you. When you were born, when you go throughout your life, you always have it within you. It is what is keeping your body moving. It is what is keeping you alive. When someone has no love within them, none whatsoever, when it finally leaves them, they will go no matter what age they are. People can also leave this lifetime intentionally. Death should always be by intention. It should never be an accident. Know that it is never an accident, even if it seems like it is. And death is not something to be scared of. It's just as beautiful. It's just as magical as birth. It's something that needs to be talked about. It's something that needs to be embraced time and time again. But this love, you must connect to it on a daily basis. This will give you inspiration. This will connect you to your mission in life. When you are completing your mission in life, you will feel joy no matter what is happening in your life. No matter if you're going through loss or tragedy or heartache or different really challenging things to go through in life, you will feel in balance. Yes, it may be hard. Sadness is an important emotion to feel from time and time again. So yes, these challenges may be hard, but you will be in balance, and this balance will keep you moving forward. To unlock this love, there's different ways to do it. One thing is gratitude. When you connect to gratitude, this will automatically spark this love within you. You can also call upon it the same way that people call upon energy or prayer or connection or their higher self or the angels. You can say, I connect upon this pure unconditional love within me, and I ask for this love to come out, to spread around me, to fill my aura, to fill my body, my mind, my emotions, my spirit, my soul. And I ask this love to flood my life, for this love is infinite. You can just pull it out, or you can just set the intention and allow it to naturally flow out like a river. But it's very important not to look at this just from outside. You can get it from nature, you can get it from the sky, you can get it from each other, but it will always feel like it's something that keeps on escaping or moving like wind. When you get it from your own inner self, it will feel continuous and very strong, powerful, mesmerizing. You are a very mesmerizing, inspirational being. Connect to this, feel this, let yourself flow. Let who you are flow. When you let who you are flow to the universe, you will always be supported. You don't have to worry about those little inconveniences in life because it will always come into a full circle of love. This is the message I have to share. Are there any questions?
Yes, I'd like to understand the purpose for our carnation on Earth. We're here to learn.
Yes.
But how do we channel, or how do we get into our spiritual man? How do we start to live a better life, cleaner life here while incarnated on earth?
People have to let go of attachment. People have too much attachment to convenience, to other individuals, to a certain way of life. When someone gives up attachment, then they are allowing change, and they are allowing themselves to move with life and also be more in tune with the earth. When people have attachment to certain things in their diet or in their lifestyle, then they will not connect to the highest vibration. A lot of people are not willing to give up things like meat or alcohol, for instance, because they are attached to it. Once they give up this attachment, then they connect to fruit and living foods, and they will feel a lot more whole and connected to their mission into helping Earth. Everyone has on Earth a collective mission to be here, to unite, to have a global ecosystem with everyone, and to find a true unconditionally loving balance where no one is getting hurt, where no one is getting trampled on for another one to reach the top. There is perfect ability to have balance and harmony through all life. And so this needs to be achieved, but it has to be through letting go of attachment.
Yes.
Do you have a name?
Which still holds to the attachment, but putting it in a way that will help everyone and make everyone feel kind, loved.
Okay. Go ahead, Tresca.
Do you have a name?
Is there another question?
I was wanting to know if you had a name. I don't know. I wanted to explain who we're speaking to. I mean, who's speaking to us?
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Okay, we're having technical difficulties. Chloe is right in the middle of a channel and her phone froze. But again, you're with us. You're listening to I'm Woke. I am Jason Medlock. I am your host, along with Tresca Hairston.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Chloe, are you there?
You there?
Are you there?
I tell you, Jason, this information is so good.
It is.
I hope that we'll be able to bring her back again. Definitely when she's in a better place, with the.
Yes, she was right in the middle of a channel. I think she just messaged me, and she'll be back on. But she was right in the middle of a channel, and it froze on her. But that was absolutely amazing, and she's gonna get back on with us. So I mean,
and the reason why I asked, I wanted to know the names because I've been told in my research and channeling that a lot of times they speak. There's more than one that speaks. There's a conglomerate of speaking. I mean, that happens there, and it's more than one person that more energy that she's channeling. So I was curious to know, was that the case? So
yeah, I'm gonna bring her in on a telephone line. And maybe we can, get her back. So let's try to see. But go ahead, Tresca. What were you saying about when you were wanting to know the name? Why were you wanting to know the entity's name? I know you were asking that for a reason.
Yeah, because I was saying that because from my research and channeling, we assume is there one person talking, but it's not. It's an entity. It's a group of entities that actually move forward where they're gathering their information from, and it's just blocks of information that's coming from different people in that channeling. And I wanted to know if that particular the entities that she was channeling, who they were, or they kind of give themselves a name as one. That's why I was asking.
Exactly.
That's been my research, and I was just very curious to know that. And to have this opportunity to actually talk to someone through channelings, because I've never done it. Have you?
I haven't, but we have Chloe on the line. Chloe, can you hear us?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. I'm so sorry. It ran out of data, and it will not allow me to get more, unfortunately.
That's okay. Tresca, can you hear Chloe?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Chloe, I don't know if you can continue, but wow, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
But
I'll continue. One moment. I'll reconnect.
Okay.
Can you turn it up just a little bit more, Jason?
Okay.
Give it more volume. Do we have a question also in chat?
She's gonna reconnect.
Hello. What is the next question?
Well, Chloe, I don't know. I was asking if you all had a name. If it's one entity that's speaking, or is it a group of different people? Who are we speaking to?
So right now, this is a connection from unconditional love consciousness, specifically a fifth dimensional one. And so how this works is that there's a being in the fourth dimension who has a physical form, although it's not physical like humans, it's more liquidy almost. It can float, it can expand, it can change in many ways. And this being is allowing for this message to process, because this being is able to process higher dimensional, fifth dimensional frequencies and feelings and experiences. And so then they can translate it for someone who's in human form like Chloe. And so this unconditional love, fifth dimensional consciousness is very vast, very expansive, but it can be translated for a direct message. Although sometimes collectives can speak, for instance, an ant collective or a human collective or a tree collective, or even fifth dimensional, seventh dimensional collectives can speak, or just individuals or consciousnesses. So it can truly differ.
So I have a question. We know that you're fifth dimensional, and you're speaking to us here while we're incarnated in these avatars. And is there a name of a planet or a space or is there a name of the civilization that you guys that you're in right now?
This makes me smile because we do not go about names the same way that individuals who are human do. So how we go about things is frequencies. We can communicate through frequencies. We can express things, feel things, exchange things. It's not something verbal. We don't have names for things. We have feelings, but these feelings are very intricate. It's not like the way that humans have feelings. Humans have a huge range, but they're harder to pinpoint exactly. So for instance, let's say a person was thinking about a carpet in their home. They wouldn't have a specific feeling frequency for carpet. It wouldn't be fully pinpoint accurate. It can be sort of there. It could get confusing to the individual trying to interpret. For us, we have a frequency feeling for everything. And so our planet, our home, we don't have necessarily just one specific home because we go to many different places. But this place does not have a verbal name.
I understand.
I have a question. I have a question. I feel like I have a heightened sense of knowing, and I tend to, it's like I reach for straws. I'm trying to figure out and trying to bring together what it is that I'm experiencing through this heightened knowing. So I was wondering, what can I do to better understand what's happening to me? Sometimes I can speak and I can talk, and it's like ideas and words just come to me, and then next I can, then I can feel it inside, but it doesn't always come out. Can you explain that for me? Because that's a struggle.
So the biggest thing is that actually this is very common for many individuals, but you can overthink it. There will be a very subtle feeling when it's time to vocalize, to speak, and to express. For most individuals, it does not feel too much different to channel, express different things from different beings in different places, as well as from your own soul and spirit. And so the biggest thing is just taking that leap and moving forward and embracing. And even if you feel a little bit of a hesitation to speak anyways, even if you don't know exactly how to express it, try your best and we will take over. The initial is what you have to do to invite. and then we will take over and move forward. And naturally, something that would be very beneficial for you is to get a bowl of water that is filled with energy. And so naturally, water is an energy body, but when you send unconditional love or very bright sunlight or different things directly into this water, it infuses the water with pure energy. And when you put your face into it, it will help to open your third eye and help natural connection flourish.
Do we need to pray in this water, or is there anything that we need to do to prepare this water? Or we know that the water already has energy in it. Do we just simply do exactly as you said?
Water is very receptive to what's around it. So if it goes through a lot of negative processes, or if it's around anyone at any point who is not in a love space, then it can alter the vibration of the water. The easiest way for a person to raise this vibration back to its original love and connected state is to look at the water and just say, I unconditionally love you with all of my being. And not just to say it, but to mean it. That love will naturally come from you, from your heart chakra, from your aura, and will fill this water with transformative light. That's the easiest way. Sunlight will also help. If you have a place that is not around city or many cars or many people, and you can just put it in sunlight for a few minutes, then this will also help. It does not have to be a lot of water. You can also do mass prayers over a huge amount of water, but this is something that should be done at least twice a day.
Okay. I have a question also. I'm sorry. I have a question also. We know that the earth is splitting from the old earth and the new earth to be fourth or fifth dimensional. We've learned this from author Dolores Cannon in the number of experiences she's had with spirits, channeling sessions. Is that currently going on now? And if so, how do we know if we're making that transition to the new earth?
Honestly, you won't know until it's already in transition. You may have a feeling of it. You may be able to sense it, but that exact moment is hidden for a very good reason. And so it will just be a natural shift. You'll know once it happens, and you'll get a slight feeling beforehand. But yes, this is true, and it's happening rather soon, honestly.
We also would like to know, we're often visited from visited different extraterrestrials, different beings that visit the earth, but yet our government hides a lot of this stuff. We know that we're not the only ones in this vast universe, and we know dimensionally that we are third density. Can you help us understand these visitations? What do they mean? And when will our government finally allow the earth to raise its vibration so that we can become a part of the galactic family?
So one thing that's very important to recognize is that governments are not built on anything that's very secure. They may say that they're built on something secure, and they may think that, or at least have the general public try to get the general public to think that. But in general, governments are extremely flimsy. All of them, honestly. There's not one government here on Earth that is solidified enough that can take that sort of information without it shattering. What happens is that the government lives without a sphere, and this is most governments, if not all of them on this planet. The governments live out a sphere, and what happens is that they know that if people are aware of this information as a mass, as a whole, as in everyone, that it is the general majority of individuals, they know that the governments will collapse, and they are worried that there will be chaos. And so it's a fear mentality. There are some individuals that are rolling out of hatred and out of control and just corruption and wanting to have that power, and they know that if people have these realizations, have these awakenings as a whole, that they will no longer have that power. And so they want to remain in that position. And those are some very powerful individuals, at least powerful when it comes to fear and corruptness, not in genuine, actual energy power. But something that's just the most important is that as a whole, they're just very afraid. It will naturally come to light for all of civilization to understand. Naturally, people will have more and more of these experiences and these encounters. But another thing, when people live in fear, they will also connect to the negative. They will connect to both the positive and the negative, and that will create a lot of issues. The safest way is actually for people to not have full connection and awareness until they've built their love consciousness and their connection. Because otherwise, when they do connect, if they still have that fear mentality and if they see something that they may find terrifying, or if a negative entity were to approach them, then they may panic, and that could create some serious issues. Right now, the Earth is in a very delicate balance. The positive energies, and as you call them, extraterrestrial life, they wish to keep Earth as safe as possible, and they're trying to send energy to a positive evolution, to new Earth, and to more positive energy and awareness and a new balance. But when they interfere too much, when they give too much energy, even though it's positive, it will automatically create an opening for more negativity to come through. And the people are just not ready for that as a whole yet. They're just not. It would cause chaos, unfortunately. They need a little bit more time.
Yes.
But it won't be too long.
Jason, do you have anybody in the chat that has questions?
No, I have plenty. I was wondering, we see a lot of activity on our moon. And, according to some of the information in the readings from Dolores Cannon, the moon is a base and is set up there for some ETs that are actually monitoring us from a biological standpoint. When they do abduct, they're abducting to make upgrades to the avatar. Can you help us understand what's going on in that regard?
Yes. So this is actually a very complicated situation to explain because it's different for every individual's reality. So, as you already know, manifestation is happening in every single moment for every individual. And people will also be in different realities. For instance, all three humans incarnated on this call are in three different realities. This is actually something that happens more rare. Usually people who are communicating to each other will be in the same one at the same time. But at this case, no. And so for the reality that Chloe's body is in, the Earth is divided in, not the Earth, my apologies, the moon is divided into two. So one side of the moon, it has a lot of negative energy and negative beings residing there. And it actually has buildings, although they're a bit different built than Earth ones. The other side has positive energies and positive light. And this is what is connected to in more divine feminine energy. And this is very positive. So it creates an odd sort of balance, but they do live in separate harmony. Whereas for you, Jason, it is a bit different. For you, it is a reality that's not necessarily physical in the same sense. So there's lots of different energies of all different kinds there, but it's not as physical of a sense of the moon. But that's only temporary for you. That will switch when you go into a different reality.
Wow.
But in general, there's...
Yes, that's deep, Jason.
Wow.
That one's the hardest to pinpoint because it's not specific. Earth is a lot more stable in that sense, at least for now.
So when you are using Chloe as a medium and we're able to talk to the collective, is it easy for you to, even though you're not connected through any other avatar at the moment, can you connect in any kind of way with us here on the set? I guess my question more so would be, we're all trying to continue to grow our spirituality. We're all trying to experience an awakening. We're meditating. We're trying to get closer to oneness. Me in particular, is there a path that I should be on? Am I on the right path? You try to pray, meditate, and you feel the signs, but are you able to directly address one of us without using us as a medium?
Yes, I can. So one thing that I would like to mention for you in particular, it's very important for you not to take the route of safety, not to take what feels safe or comfortable or predictable at this time. For you in particular, there's a lot of energies that are coming into fruition. There's a lot of things that are going to be very, very different for your life. And so it's very important to be willing to take all those chances and to not be stuck in what you already know.
Yes.
But in general, I have messages to share with absolutely everyone. It's very easy for me to connect with individuals because I'm so very close. Even though I reside in a different place in my consciousness form, I'm able to spread myself. For instance, at this moment on planet Earth, I am channeling, speaking through about 13 different humans. But I'm connecting to almost everyone in a different way.
Wow.
This is
it's
very
very
interesting.
easy to split consciousness because it doesn't split, it's a whole, yet it can just expand itself. So it's very easy to expand in all different forms.
So that the human brain,
complete in every form.
So that the human brain, when you are trying to find the right frequency, do the crystals in our brains aid you in doing that? How are you leveraging? What do you do to connect with us?
So the easiest way is through the heart chakra, actually. So the brain, it gets very confused very easily. Think of the brain to be a very wonderful tool. It does do a lot. It can take on a lot of energy. It can also interpret quite a bit. But at the same time, it's not really used for a higher dimensional or higher frequency connection. Many beings do not have the brain the way that humans do. They just have a lot more of an advanced energy system. But their brains are not at all the ways that humans are. The crystals are actually very beneficial, and this helps the heart chakra, even though they're located within the brain. And so it's very important to focus the attention within the heart chakra, your heart mind. The head mind is too much. And it's very useful, and you can also pick up a lot of energy this way, but the heart mind is what will really connect to intuition in these higher frequencies, and that's what will really charge the body. That's the way that also people can live off of chronic energy. They can live off of light. Similar to plants, but a bit more advanced than their system of doing so.
Can you tell us?
The heart chakra needs to be focused on a lot more than the brain.
Can you tell us anything about the Anunnaki race? We get so many mixed information about what they meant to the earth and how they changed the earth and how we're still dealing with when the Anunnakis were here.
What would you like to know about them?
I'd like to know in particular, how did they use collective thought to move mortar, to move blocks, cinder blocks, to build pyramids?
Yeah. So the easiest way that they actually did that was just by intention. So their bodies were built a bit different than the human bodies, and they were able to expand themselves a bit more. And so they used their aura. The aura is a lot more powerful than people are aware of. So the aura can move physical bodies of land, of water, of material, of everything really, and it can also shape it, it can change it, can transform it, and it also will naturally go into a balance, so people don't have to figure out the exact ask for that necessarily. So the aura, although general people typically don't see it, or they see a very faint energy outline of it, it's very intense and very strong. In day-to-day life with cities and also with corrupt information and all the frequencies that are coming from technology and coming from really most things that are man-made, it disrupts the aura's connection. Without those things, the aura can expand, and it's not taking physical form, but it's able to alter physical form. And so it's just by intention, the same way that someone has the intention to grab something with their hands, they can have their intention to spread their aura and to extend it outwards. Fortunately, now most people's auras are very clogged.
Right. Tereska, you have anything before we wrap it up?
Okay. I thought you're going to get anyone in the chat to ask a question, or you
just go ahead. Just go ahead.
I just think this is awesome information. I've wondered, and I kind of listened a lot to Abraham Hicks, that part of channeling, and I've always wanted to have this opportunity, and I'm not even understanding how I got this opportunity just this so right now. I mean, I just can't believe it. But I just had a comment that it was it's really good to know that we are infinite beings, and that we have the opportunity to connect and expand while here on Earth. So I guess the question from this is, what is our level of expansion? How far can we go
as humans? How
far can we go?
So there's different ways that I can answer this. And one thing I just wanted to mention is for you to connect to animals more. You're naturally a born animal communicator, and you could get very strong with it and create your own methods of doing so. That would be very transformative and very easy for the individual humans to pick up. So this is something that I wish for you to pursue. But just in general, when it comes to the human and what they're able to do in the human form, is quite a lot. So using the physical form while it's awake, it's less so. You can do a lot more with the soul and the spirit and your consciousness than the physical body, although the physical body can do quite a bit. For instance, if an individual is in a very clear space where their aura is much stronger and able to do more, if then that person is laying down or resting their physical form, their aura can do quite a bit of things. Their aura can actually teleport them to different places, can allow them to do almost like a flying, floating sensation, and this will actually physically move the body. They can do quite a bit. But it's not really the physical form. The physical form, think of it almost like dirt or a broccoli. But just very high functioning that can do a lot. But in general, it's not necessarily the most intelligent form above what it's already capable of doing. What it's already capable of is very magical. But moving beyond that, you're using energy. So it's your ability to bring in energy into your aura, into your heart chakra, using your heart mind and using your being. So from there, you can really do absolutely anything. But it's kind of forgetting the physical body a little bit. To treat it well, to give it nutrients, to make sure it's higher vibrational, which will help with this energy connection. But in general, to let it rest. Exercise, of course, is important, just during the energy practices. There are some energy channelings that come through dance as well, but this is very different, and this brings the body into an almost trance state. Because otherwise, if people try to do too much when they're physically standing or moving around, the body would get very confused and dizzy.
I have another question, Jason, I wanted to add also. How does one expand or move past grief and death? We know that, although we know that, we're infinite, but, dealing with death on Earth is a difficult task. So what are some things that we can do to actually move past that?
Honestly, I would say for people to just see it for themselves. An individual can see it for themselves in any waking moment or even when they're asleep in the astral realm. If someone sees it, it makes it a lot easier to move past because it becomes something that's a lot more comfortable and understandable.
Okay. That's good.
So this is honestly the easiest way. The other way is just trust. If people have trust that it's all okay, then it will be all okay. If they don't, then they'll create a fear mentality, and then that can create issues for themselves and others.
Okay. Well, we really.
People do usually go. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
People usually try to only believe what they see or what they're told for a very long time. Trust is something that should be built more, but in everyday life, trust is betrayed so much, so it makes it hard for people to even trust themselves. They're also told information starting from a very young age that is false, and their aura knows it's false. Their subconscious mind knows it's false. They know it's false, but consciously they believe it, so it does create a natural mistrust in day-to-day life and in themselves.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So grateful.
We are grateful, and we are grateful that you allow Chloe. You use Chloe as a medium to come and to speak to our audience. We are definitely wanting to move information to the masses. We want more and more human avatars to become woke, to experience an awakening, and we want to thank you for allowing us to do that tonight. We are awesome. We have much gratitude, and the one thing that you know about here on Earth, there's a lot of low vibrating humans, and the world is somewhat in chaos, and the other half of the world is trying to awaken. Can you give our audience one last, encouragement so that we're using platforms like this so that we can bring in information from the collective like you? Is there anything you can offer our audience to say we're not lost?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I wish to share. And one thing is to never lose hope and to know that you're truly not alone. And I know this is something that's spoken quite a bit, but it's very true. You have your guides, you have different consciousnesses, you have yourself, you also have every lifetime that you've ever experienced and everyone you're going to. You have a soul family, you have so many different connections. So really to remember that this is temporary, but just because it's temporary does not mean it's any less important. Another thing that's very important to recognize is that you as an individual have the ability to truly change and alter the world in a very positive, loving, and kind way, and to help others awaken in a very loving way. Doing world healing, connecting to the world human consciousness to set the intention and raise everyone's vibrations to the unconditional love frequency will truly help. This will allow people to realize that there's a lot more than what they've been told or what they've already experienced in just this lifetime. It will help to calm their minds as well as open them and connect them to their heart chakra. If you connect the heart chakra of every individual on the planet, which may sound hard in some ways, but it's actually very simple. It's just visualizing a cord of this pink, beautiful, and green, earthy, unconditional love energy coming from each individual's heart chakras and connecting to everyone. You don't have to picture all the billions of people, but setting the intention that that heart chakra connection will connect everyone, as well as all the animals and all the plants. This will help people have more empathy for each other and for all life. And this will help them to move forward and awaken, but know that more and more people are realizing things on a day-to-day basis. And so never to feel lost or alone, because you're doing so well. And to give yourself time just to rest. You don't always have to be trying to save humanity or doing different very noble tasks and building this empathy. At times you just need to rest and care for yourself and prioritize how you're doing. So this is very important to recognize, to find this kindness for yourself.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we're going to go ahead and get off. So that Cheruska, you can go ahead and give your thoughts on it, and the collective that just spoke. We thank you, and we are excited. And Chloe, I know that you are special, and you have gifts. Special. It's very special, and I cannot wait. To start to study with you so that I can open up my awareness even more. So, Chloe, thank you.
Thank you. We are grateful for your presence and for you connecting to consciousness and moving forward. And Chloe is also grateful as well. She is not more special than any other human or any other individual. All she's doing is her best at this time. And all she's doing is being open to the connection and to the love frequency and trying to listen to her higher self and move forward. And so know that you have all your abilities and all your gifts ready to fully tap into, and you've already connected to many of them. And we're happy to guide you through this process. One moment, I will leave now so that Chloe can come back.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm back.
Wow. And Chloe, for the audience who doesn't really understand, they're probably saying, well, it sounded like her. But in actuality,
yes. So that's something I'd like to explain.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry. So that's something that's actually very interesting that I didn't know when I first started channeling. So the channeling teacher that I had originally, years ago, he spoke in different voices for everyone, and I thought that was just the normal. So I would try to get myself, and then what ended up happening that was kind of funny is that this being who kind of looks like, I guess I don't know how to explain them. I mean, they sort of like a positive reptile sort of creature, but a little bit different. So it's very, very friendly and kind and funny individual. And they said, there's no way I'm going to try to use my voice. It would hurt your vocal cords, and you need to just give that up because that makes you just uncomfortable. And so everyone's different with that. I definitely feel very different when I'm channeling, and sometimes I notice that my tone goes up and down when I record, and it definitely feels very different, especially if someone sees me in person. They typically see some energy around me, and they notice things. But voice-wise, I gave up a long time ago trying to just pick up their voices. Most of them don't even have physical voices, so it's kind of pointless.
Wow.
You know, Chloe, I felt the difference, though, in the energy. I definitely felt the difference in the energy that was coming forth out of you.
I did too.
Yes, that makes sense.
I did too. You know, Chloe,
it always feels so different.
I want to ask you this, Chloe. And this is one of those, I guess, when you see a celebrity, you want to ask them for the autograph. But do people ask you, and if they do, are you able to do it, channel a certain spirit, like, for instance, our mother? Okay, so do we have to give you a name, or can you just feel it through myself and Taruska? Because we're brother and sister. What do you need to do to give us something so we can say, you know, yeah. How do you are you able to?
That,
mm-hmm.
It's definitely a person-to-person basis. I mean, I can communicate to any spirit, really, but over time and after I built my practice up, I actually became more selective with it. So what ends up happening is that when someone just has a human lifetime and they just ended that human lifetime, a lot of times it can be very challenging. It can be a little bit unbalanced. If they're fully healed and whole and they've worked on themselves and honestly they were accepting of their passing and everything, then it's very easy and I can channel them very easily and they'll typically come to me without a name or anything. Although if it's an individual who had a very challenging past, like for instance, let's say someone like died in a tragic or painful way, or before they felt they were ready, or if they were living a life that honestly didn't really resonate with them, then I'll communicate to them. It's honestly not really safe to channel because they'll try to attach to me.
Right.
So in that case, I'll be able to feel them, but it will take typically a name or something to be able to connect more, because my higher self is actually going out of their way to prevent me from channeling that individual because it's not safe. So with that, I take extra precautions and protections. So I'm a bit more careful when I channel spirits of people who recently passed. Animals, besides people, even if they've had a painful death, usually don't have their experience. As in, they usually don't have that negative reaction. But it really depends. But in general, I do connect to spirits, and I don't typically need a name or photo or anything.
Gotcha. Well, I'm just blown away. I can't wait. I said it 3-4 times. I cannot wait to start my journey with you. And, we've had you on here. We don't want to burn all of your data up, but Tereska, is there one last thing or anything you want to part with Chloe? Anything you want to say to her?
Just that, Chloe, that I'm very appreciative and very grateful to have had this opportunity, to speak with you, and just so thankful that you allowed yourself to channel before us. It was a wonderful experience, and it's only motivated me even more to seek more, to try to expand more, to raise my vibrations more, just to get to another level of heighten of who I am, or just be a better who I am, just to get to know me more. So I thank you for doing this.
Go ahead, Chloe.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have met you both and to have been here. It's really a wonderful opportunity, and it's been great. You both are really lovely individuals, and I love both of your energies. And thank you to the audience as well. I'm grateful for you, and I send my unconditional love.
Great. And
I guess for a leaving message, I would just say that it's very important to realize that you have full abilities, you have full connections, and it's just when you connect to those abilities, when you embrace them. But just know that's really never too late. I mean, people have come to me and they've been all different ages. I mean, they've been in their 80s, and they'll say, "How am I able to do this? I'm not young. I don't know if I can, if I have an open and soft mind," and they'll be the best at it. And so at times, and so just to be aware that there's never too late to do anything, but at the same time, don't procrastinate. So if you feel a pull to start to connect or to learn a new skill or connect a new ability, then follow that. There's no wrong timing for anything.
Wow.
And so also to express your emotions, that's so important, all emotions. So expressing does not mean if you feel anger to yell. That's not necessarily expressing. You can feel it and internalize it, accept it, and bring it into life in a positive way, in a healthy way. So all emotions do have their place, but never suppress them. A lot of times people are on their spiritual journey will think, okay, I just experienced a moment of fear. How can I quickly get rid of this? The point is not to get rid of emotions. The point is to feel, accept, process, and send love to that emotion, and then to move forward. Once you move forward with the emotion, you'll feel a lot more at peace. If you just suppress it, it's still there. You just may not feel it consciously.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So know that it's not unspiritual to have all different emotions. It's completely natural and part of the human experience.
Okay, well, Chloe,
that makes me want to train. I may have to get in touch with Chloe. Gotta get into some other teaching.
Well,
I want some more.
Well, Chloe's my friend. I'll think about giving you her phone number.
I'm here for everyone. So I'm happy to connect and to be a channeling guide for everyone, just to help in any way that I'm able to.
But I think that you should, Tereska, because Chloe is really, really, really connected with animals. I mean, well, she's connected with everybody, but she has a passion for animals and the perseverance of some of these animals and the way that we slaughtered them. So you probably should connect with Chloe to further your spiritual development.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, I love that. Animals are definitely my specialty. They're who I'm most connected to. Like I connect and I channel all different beings, but I do have a soft spot in my heart even more for them, and to guide this journey of empathy for all of them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Chloe Mowers, outstanding energy healer and channeler, and we really appreciate you, Chloe, and I'm going to go ahead and let Chloe go. Thank you, Chloe, and we will be talking here in the next few days or so. But Tereska,
hi, Chloe.
How do we unpack this? We're going to,
to me, it's simple. It's really is simple. The message I got received from this whole thing is a lot of things flow through love. If you can't harbor or tune into love, then I mean that you won't be able to make it. It's all about the love.
And Chloe, she got cut off. But go ahead, Chloe.
Sorry, what were you saying? For some reason, it just cut off the call, but I'm back. What was the thing?
Yeah, we were just saying that we were giving our final thoughts on how to unpack this bundle of information, and I think I accidentally hit the button, but we really appreciate you, and I'll be speaking to you here in the next few days or so. But I'm gonna have to wait, Tereska, before you can get this number. I'm gonna hog Chloe for a moment, but we were basically signing off and just trying to just give our audience a last thought.
Oh, thank you so much. And another thing I wanted to mention for everyone is that on my website, I'm trying to do starting this week actually, daily healing. So it's really affordable, and basically once you sign up, then it'll be daily unconditional love healings from Unconditional Love Reiki, as well as some galactic energy healing for a month.
No, we didn't talk about that, Jason, so we have to bring her back.
We're going to bring you back to strictly talk about the Reiki healing, but at the bottom of the screen, look at the scroll, www.magentasunhealing.com.
Yeah, it's all there. Everything's all there.
It's all there. So, in Beth C says, "Wow, this was amazing. Thank you, Chloe." And that was from Beth C. On yes, you have people out here listening. They didn't ask a lot of questions, but they were listening. But Chloe, thank you so much, and we're going to go ahead and let you go, and we're going to close this thing out. But I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you. I wish you all a lovely evening, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Miss Tereska, we're gonna take 2 minutes, and that's not enough time because we'll come back next week. But you have to unpack maybe a small piece of this, and we got to talk, sister.
It went pretty deep. It did. I mean, and I know that your listening audience had. I mean, you talked about. You asked so many different questions that were so far, but some people, everybody didn't quite.
Well, when you have them, because I've read this in different books and different documentaries. So when you have them and you have a medium that can bring through a clear connection, you have to be prepared. You got to be prepared with the questions. And sometimes we may say, well, am I going to get a new car? The spirits are not going to answer stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I would never.
And when you get to that point, it's almost like it's so much more you want past that. When you feel like you're talking to someone on the other side. So I was, my takeaway and what I've learned from this is truly about how love is, how our love level should be so much higher.
It all starts with love.
How we can adjust our aura just by speaking love into every situation.
Yes.
He said, deal with your emotions. Don't try to get rid of your emotions. Don't try to get rid of fear or whatever. Deal with the emotions and speak love to them. Whatever, if it's good or bad, negative, whatever, speak love to those things. And that's how you get past it all. And I thought that was it for me right there.
Well, my biggest takeaway was when, and I don't want to say he said, when the collective said, it's about your intention.
Yeah.
When you want to move stones, when you want something monumental to happen in your life, when you want a raise on your job or you want to get a new opportunity, it's about your intentions. Intentions, thoughts. Thoughts are the most powerful thing in the universe. And it was quite telling when the collective made mention of that. I was like, wow, I've read that so many different places. But I got to tell you, this has been a great night. You've been listening to I'm Woke. I am Jason Medlock. I am your host and contributor. Tereska Hairston is on the show. And we've enjoyed this moment. It's been a special moment. Definitely special. And we're going to, leave you tonight with one thought. The spiritual realm, there is a connection. And only thing you have to do is move love into your heart. Have clear intention. Have a clear vessel. When I say clear vessel, put foods in your vessel that are high vibrating foods, fruit, spinach, greenery. Try to stay away from meat that has been slaughtered, because epigenetics are the memory that the cells carry of the actual slaughter. So that when you consume this food, then your cells merge in with the cells from the meat, and you have those memories. And we wonder why we get angry. We're 0 to 100 right away. We are hard to deal with. It's because of what we're eating. And so if we clean that up, we can then begin to create a cleaner vessel that can communicate on all different realms. And we saw proof of that tonight. We are so excited about Chloe Mowers. She will be back. We did not talk about Reiki energy, Tereska. We did not talk about the energy healing. She talked about it a little bit, but that's a whole nother segment. There are people out there that heal using energy.
Yeah, so
that is so special.
It is very special. And I know that for people that are just the beginners, Jason, the beginners out there that are listening to this and really just want to hone in on the conversation.
Yes.
Something that they feel that they can relate to. And the relatable thing is that when you're starting at the beginning with your meditation, those simple people that meditate, just know what's on the other side of that.
Yes.
This is an example on what's on the other side of that meditation. Is not only, and you may not want to be a channeler, that you may not want to do those things, that those things may scare you, who knows, but at the crust of the whole matter is that we are infinite. So and there's more to just us here on earth. You can't believe that it's just us on earth. You can't believe that, but there's more to it. The Bible speaks of more to it. So I mean, just know that the start of it and the base of it all is prayer and meditation. That can get you close. And she told me something I could do is put water, use a bowl, and put more food and speak.
She said twice or three times a day. Yeah.
And put my face in the water.
And well, give the water gratitude.
Yeah, you gotta be grateful.
But I've heard that before, and that's why
I know all about that.
Just when you hear things, you and people, it's just a connection of all the material out there.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and we're gone, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye. All right. Broadcast is ended.